Hey, you. Yeah, you. Wake up. Wake up, people. It's time to start paying attention to what's going on around you. This is Dave Weber. I'm running for the U.S. Senate as an independent candidate, not a Republican, not a Democrat. I'm independent. That means that I'm not beholden to any party, any special interests, or any lobbyists. If you don't know what's going on in this state and in this country, then you need to pay attention. Now, I've been doing these videos for over a week. I haven't heard anything from anybody. So pay attention. If you don't want the Democrats to continue to have control of New York State, then pay attention. If you don't care, don't pay attention. But I think most people care. They just don't know what to do about it. They think that New York is always going to be Democrat and that's it. It doesn't have to be that way. The Republicans have had one senator elected since 1977. They don't know how to win. Maybe they don't even care to win. They just choose their usual New York City elite candidate, in this case, Shel Farley, who's not a bad person. She's just clueless about what we need as working class people. Now, if you don't know what's going on in Washington, the reality of what's going on in Washington, then stop watching CBS, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, and CNN, and start watching other channels, or just don't watch at all. Fox News is the only station I'll watch for accurate information, and I'll compare it to what the other mainstream stations are running. And they all are spinning everything to the left, spinning it against not only Trump, but us, the working class people. They don't like us. They don't. They think we're deplorable. They think they could smell us in Walmart. That's been one comment. What are we going to sit around and just listen to this crap? Why do we want to do that? Trump is doing his best as president. And he's not an angel. He's not a choir boy. We know that. But to attack him and call him treasonous and do all the things that they're doing from the well-funded George Soros team on the left, especially the far left liberals, is an atrocity. And it's an attack on our Constitution. Our founding fathers did not see this coming years ahead. They prepared a lot for what could happen in the different bills of rights that we have, but they never could envision this kind of treatment of a sitting president. Whether he's a good person or a bad person or whatever, we need to forget that for right now. What we need to think about is what's best for this country. And the Democrats are not what's best for this country. Socialism will not work. Candidates like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez out of Queens, 28-year-old socialist, she says she can take any red district and flip it to blue. Well, la-di-da. I'd love to take her on someday in a debate because her socialist views are dangerous and impossible and unrealistic, and we can't afford them. Here's what we can afford. We can afford a candidate who is not one of the two big parties. There's a lot of talk on Fox and even on CNN about more populist candidates, candidates of the people who need to get involved and get in Washington. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. So you need to pay attention, for crying out loud. I'm trying to educate people a little bit. I'm trying to be impassioned about it, but it's very, very irritating when people don't pay attention. The left, the Democrats, are trying to spin everything in an effort to take down President Trump. Russian collusion exists for sure. There's collusion out there, and the Russians are meddling in our elections. They still are. But the collusion is not on the part of the Trump campaign or Donald Trump himself. The collusion was by Hillary Clinton and the DNC, who had a fake dossier made up with a Russian operative, and they used that fake dossier as the main source of evidence to get a judge to sign off on what they call a FISA warrant so they could spy on the Trump campaign and private citizens. They had to have 4 different FISA warrants done, 3 renewals of the original. And they used the dossier, a fake dossier, contrived information that's not accurate and is totally fake. They used that, funded by Hillary Clinton and the DNC. You don't hear about that on anywhere but Fox. And you get the details. And the House Intelligence Committee and the House Oversight Committee is all over it. Devin Nunes, all the Trey Gowdy, Jim Jordan, all these guys, they're heroes. They're all over it. But you don't know anything about it if you're not listening to the right places, if you're not paying attention. Now, and for New York State, we need to get Gillibrand out. And she's very, very beatable right now. She's ripe. She is all over the socialist ideology that the Democrats are embracing, and it's wrong. Free education, free Medicare for all, free, it's living wage for everybody, and abolish ICE, our immigration customs enforcement. You know what they're doing? They're raiding and getting out and routing out and deporting and locking up illegal immigrant criminals, including the MS-13 gangs. I'm telling you, people, we don't know half of what's going on, and you need to pay attention. Now, people think, well, who are you? You don't know anything about politics. I know enough about politics to know I don't want to be a politician. What I want to be is somebody who will speak for you and me, the working class people, the people who pay the taxes, the people who pay the salaries of all these slobs in Washington. And what happened to that $17 million hush fund? We never heard any more about that after we got rid of a few of them, did we? That needs to be really, really dug up. And everybody washed out and resigned who's part of it. We've got to clean things up. We've got to start somewhere. I am a legitimate candidate for the U.S. Senate. I won't be on the ballot because I couldn't get the signatures on petitions that were required by the establishment parties in New York. There are many states that you don't even have to have signatures on petitions. You can pay a fee to get on the ballot, but not New York. New York doesn't want an outsider in there. The only reason Donald Trump won is because he's a billionaire. The reason why they don't want me in there is because I speak the truth and I say what's on my mind, and I fight for you and me and our children and our grandchildren. I want what's right. That's all I care about. I don't want to get rich. How can you be in the Senate or the House? How can you be in Congress for 30 years on $174,000 a year and have $40 million or $200 million or $10 million? How can you have that kind of money if it's not coming from somewhere else? And we know where that is. The lobbyists, the special interests, the pharmaceutical companies, the tobacco companies, greasing all these politicians so they vote their way in favor of legislation that protects them. It's rotten. It's not a swamp. It's a cesspool. Well, we need to do something about it. You think your vote doesn't matter? Well, it does matter. If you keep voting or not voting, just voting for who you think you want, or just not vote at all because you don't think it matters, then you're part of the problem. So wake up. A vote for me would be a vote for the common man and woman. A vote for what is right to do in New York and in this country. A vote for conservatism, Second Amendment rights, First Amendment rights. Everybody knows all about those. I want to be the senator for everybody, upstate and downstate. We've got to fight to unite our state. It's got to happen. And it's got to happen in 3 months. We got 3 months, people. The election's in 3 months. Pay attention. Wake up. I want to hear from people. I want to know what your thoughts are. I want to know who you think you want to represent you in the U.S. Senate. If it's Kirsten Gillibrand, goodbye. If it's Chelle Farley, good luck. If it's me, let's get to work. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.